This is a video game, and this... Yo, what the hell is this? Oh, that's right. Frogger for the PlayStation 1. Now, you guys may be, familiar with the classic arcade game known as Frogger. I'm pretty sure everybody knows about Frogger. Remember, I had the actual, not the arcade that George Costanza played.
I used to be so into this game. Getting that frog across the street was my entire life.
Yeah, and then you went on to... That's a good game.
Specifically, God, I hope somebody gets that reference. That's in the worst season of the show. That's one of the best episodes ever made. The dude plays Frogger at the end of the episode. But I had like the plug and play. I think like Jack's Play, Jack's Play, plug and play, Frogger game. The OG. Who gives a shit? Pretty good though. I got a pretty good score. I'm pretty good at Frogger. But what I vividly remember before I even played that one was Frogger for the PlayStation 1. It was gifted to me. We still couldn't afford PS2 games back in the day. But I could get that PS1 game. And it was pretty good too. But no, this game is insane. Talk about a glow up from the arcade. Are you kidding me? They never did that with like Asteroids or Pong. This game is insanely fun. It's so good. And you can do like co-op too. You can do 2 players in this game. That's such an awesome feature. And the soundtrack is banging. I'm telling you, the soundtrack fucking rips. But man, let me tell you, this game is about the most difficult thing. I've never been this is probably the first game I've ever felt like pissed off at a game with. Irked me so bad. It introduced me to gamer rage for like the first time.
This is a load of barnacles.
And I remember playing like Resident Evil 2 and dying on the first screen. Even Skull Monkeys. Oh, that's another video right there. But I never got mad because I couldn't get past the first screen in Resident Evil 2. But this game, you know the gist of the game. You have to get from one end of the screen to the other. You capture the frog, and you win the level. And when you can't do that, yo, what? What is this? What is this feeling that I'm feeling? Rage? This game is amazing. This is such a nostalgic, like, timepiece for me. And I'm pretty sure it is for a lot of people. You just haven't thought of it. Like this game and Siphon Filter. But no, because I do remember back in the day, I remember going to like a birthday party. Somebody had a birthday party, and a gift that like I brought was like Frogger for the Game Boy. And they were like super excited that they got it. So I know there's people out there that have that Frogger nostalgia. It still holds up. I bet money it does. I'll tell you what, I love that game so much. I was depressed when I beat the game. And then I found out that I had to get all the golden frogs to get the true ending. I never did get all those golden frogs. The ending, it's okay. The difficulty in this game, though, it goes to a 10, like, super quick. Like, by the time you get to the caves, it's make or break. Like, there's no way. Like, you have to be pro. You have to go pro gamer. You have to go pro Frogger mode by the time you get to the caves. The factory. Don't get me started on the factory. The factory, I think I completed the factory every time. There's not that many levels in the factory. But that one is like, if you can beat the factory, you get kind of hyped up like, yeah, I can actually beat this entire game, actually. But then you get to the cloud section and you're like, alright, I can't beat a single level. So you go back to like the forest levels, outrunning the squirrels and outrun the bees. nightmare. I'll be honest. Oh, I think the worst of all are the sewers, the sewer levels. The sewer levels are the worst, by far, bar none. Most difficult levels in gaming history are the sewer levels from Frogger 1. This is absolutely like the most insane jumping that you have to do. The mechanics, you might as well be a speedrunner of the game at this point. If you can beat the sewer levels of Frogger 1 on the PS1, you're probably a god gamer. I mean, there's absolutely no reason for this game to be as hard as it is. But it's so fun. There's so many levels. A lot of variety. And then you have the banana levels. That's what I like to call it. You're just in the jungle. They're not too bad. Those levels kind of depress me because it's like, oh, that's the end of the game. But a really cool thing that I like about the game is that you can see, like, on the little bars of, like, the stages, which is kind of interesting. Looks kind of cool. Like, you pick, like, the sliders of a particular level. It shows you underneath, it's grayed out, like, if you haven't unlocked the other levels, but it shows you that there's more levels to be unlocked, which is kind of a cool thing. The design of the game is flawless. I mean, jumping around, doing big jumps and such. So difficult. I think what makes that game so fucking difficult is that gosh darn friggin' time limit. So not only is it the most difficult game of all time, but you are timed on each level. You have to find a frog before the time limit reaches an end, and then you just explode or something. So you technically do kind of have to find, like, every frog. And there are some levels where you jump on, like, a lily pad, and then it takes you in a different direction. You gotta avoid a lawnmower. There's so many different paths on some of the levels that it's kind of insane. Like, there's one where you have to ride a stork. You're just riding a stork in the middle of the sky. There's a chunk of levels where you're in the desert. That's also very difficult. A very difficult one as well. For a PlayStation 1 game, it holds up. It's pretty good. Thoroughly enjoyed Frogger 1. God almighty, what a game. If you guys can find it out there, definitely give it a try. There was a sequel, I never played the sequel, but I think it's like a different game. I think you're actually, like, running around and stuff. But the PlayStation 1 Frogger is top tier, for sure. Anyways, yeah.
We've rebuilt one of the greatest video game heroes of all time, and now he's back.